video is going to be more directed towards my model, my 930 revamp. Looking at this candle here, what do you think the next candle is more likely to do? Sell side or buy side? Sell side. So marking this out and then studying what this candle did to get down to that low, that's what you want to do to understand how to use the revamp. All right, so looking at this, as you can see, we took out the previous day's low as we expected in the daily time frame. But what's important is studying how price got there and then off of that low right here. So as you can see from, I would say midnight to 7 a.m., all that is usually liquidity. So something on one of these sides will get swept, if not both of them. So they're both liquidity, but lining with your daily bias and then low resistance down here, it's just building up a stronger narrative. We'll make it dashed for 7. Drop down to a 5. And now we're down to a 5 minute. So as you can see, the old low back here is taken. There's liquidity here and there's liquidity here. So coming up on 9, you'd be like, oh, well, is it going to go for sell side? Is it going to go for buy side? What do? You remember the daily bias, which is here, and you only trade in that direction. So that is why I always say just pick a bias and stay there, because if you're questioning if it's going to go higher or lower, just stick with your original draw. Okay, we have now dropped down to a 1 minute. And as you can see, we have sell side in the previous day low. That is a higher probability to be hit than the previous day high. So that is the draw. Coming up on 9:30 bell, we have sell side as in a pull and low resistance, entering into a bearish breaker. So that is very strong. And it'd be better if you have SMT. I'm not going to look too much for it, but I'm sure there's SMT in there. So sell side, bearish breaker, 9:30 bell takes it straight down into your objective. Okay, so back up to the 5 minute. This is sort of how it would map out my day, being midnight to 7 is more liquidity. 7 to 9:30 is more of like the striking zones where you want to look to purge pools of liquidity. 9:30 being the last reference in time to purge into liquidity. And then from 9:30 to lunch, you'll start to see a low of the day come in, but narrowing down the time, 10 to 11, I would say. So this is how I map out my day and look for pools of liquidity and where to trade and how to use elements of time. So any further questions or anything else you guys want to know, there is a Patreon down below. First link in the description. I go more in on how to trade these. This is more just like an overview on how I trade and how I look at time throughout my day. Looking at this day here, I don't know, I guess I'm gonna call it a hammer, but we're on the daily and we're gonna drop down in this and study that day. So midnight's here. You're gonna need to come back to these videos, but midnight is here. This is the start to the day. We run up. The revamp says these are a liquidity pool. We like that. We like these lows. How do we get down to them? So here's that pool. 8:30, broke lower, but the move was at 9:30. So 9:30 took a high, shifted, value gap, order block. You want these lows. This is an entry model to that. Straight down, boom. And yes, I took this trade. I did take this trade. I could put it on the screen, but you guys know I took this one. It's in the server. But yeah, I shorted here with my stop loss, like over here. TP was there.